What's up, everybody?
Yo!
It is Monday night. It is Story Comic Core, episode 8, I believe, if my maths check out, as the British say. It is Monday night. It is Story Comic Core. Someone's first time on YouTube. My maths check out, as the British say. It is Monday night. It is Story Comic Core.
Yeah.
Whoops, sorry.
All right. Let's try that again. Hey everyone, welcome to Story Comic Core. It's Monday night. My name's Alec. This is the Comic Core channel. And we're still talking about Why the Last Man, but not for long. So we got a plan. I got some fine guys with me tonight, as always. We got Caleb the Comic Smurph Murphy. What's
Kicking
up?
it like a fat rat in a cheese factory, brother.
That's what I thought.
Glad to be here tonight. Glad you guys are already here in the chat. Chris Barrett, thank you for joining us.
Kenny, Comic Head 84, Macho Head, what's up?
Kicking it like a champ in the Macho Factory, yeah.
Are you like kind of a little bit regretful that you created the Macho Head character because now you can't be yourself?
Well, I definitely go through lots of like mouthwash to heal my throat after gimmicking.
I imagine, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like I keep the macho to
a reasonable amount of macho.
Yeah, I definitely can't gimmick too much.
Because the cream will always rise to the top.
It's very tempting to pop into it every now and then, though. Very.
Just in and out.
Just know it's always right below the surface. Yeah.
Waiting to strike.
Nailed it.
And we got Comics Misexplained, our newest member.
Howdy.
Probably permanently.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm down for it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Always down, man.
Nice. So we're in a bit of a weird predicament.
What happened?
Only 2 of us have read the assigned readings. That's upside down.
I've read part of the assigned reading.
So I have read, and I think you, Jason, said we're up to...
And I am open to book spoilers.
36, correct? We're through 36?
Yep, I read the first issue of the next omnibus.
Oh, so you're one ahead of me.
Yeah. I couldn't stop, man.
Well, because this is taking so long, much longer than we expected, we're changing formats up a little bit, and I'm going to spoil it for the other guys.
Speed runs.
Yeah, we're going to do a speed run of this whole book. So get ready.
Dude, Alec, the more I look at this cover, the more I freaking love this thing. Thank you, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Adam Hughes.
Dude.
I found a double sign Gail Simone and Adam Hughes in a bin once, so that's why I had 2.
Nice.
Yeah, this is amazing, bro. I think I like it better than the main one.
Yeah, the first few of those covers are underrated Hughes covers.
Absolutely. Sorry.
No, it's fine, man. This is a speed run. We got time.
We got time to kill.
So I don't remember where we last left off, but we're in Arizona. So they finally stopped those people.
It left off with just a picture of Hero showing up,
right? All
cowboyed up.
So we're finally in California. Yorick goes to a church trying to get forgiveness for killing the young girl, and runs into this badass chick,
pyromaniac,
with a scar across her face, who's kind of taken charge of the church. I don't mean that like she is charged herself with taking
care of it, keeping it up.
Her name is also Beth, and once she realizes Yorick is a guy, she kind of has this appropriate reaction of stunned silence.
And then, I want to mate with you.
Yeah, and then they bond, and she says she can't forgive him because she's not a man, which is like,
she's not like a priest,
right? It's like a recurring theme of like men rule the world, and
patriarchal.
Yeah, it's true. I'm not making that voice to mock it. So
Which is ridiculous to think that any human man could forgive you of anything other than some personal crap.
Blasphemer. Sorry.
Here comes Godhead 84.
Godhead 84.
Dude, that is the new name.
Wait, what name did you say?
Godhead 84.
Yeah.
It sounds like a freaking nuke the world weapon.
Sounds like a
The
90s.
Godhead 84.
Sounds like a 90s
Industrial
metal band.
band. Yeah. Like Godflesh or something. Like
Yeah.
Godhead.
Yorick confesses to her anyway and cries a bunch.
And then we go on a time traveling trip.
Yeah, so then we show her experience with the plague because she was a stewardess and she had to land a plane.
Excellent job on the art, though, on the plane. I love that.
Yeah. I think Pia Guerra consistently gets better and better as the series progresses.
For sure.
You can definitely...
However, I like when there's like planes and trains and stuff, I usually don't give the artist too much credit because they almost surely trace a reference, right?
Oh, they certainly reference, but...
You can see how it wrinkles and just...
I've seen plenty of bad illustrations.
Yeah.
So, but just like the facial expressions and the subtle body language and stuff like that, I think just gets better and better.
Oh yeah, that's where this book shines, like facial expressions, emotion.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you can really,
especially on ampersand.
for sure. You can feel the
ack.
You can feel the ack.
Yeah.
Hashtag feel the ack. Anyway, she crashes a plane and she only saves 3 women out of the whole plane. And then somehow that leads to Yorick finally going to the bone zone.
Oh, yeah.
In the graveyard.
Out of all the women that he's been with, it takes a woman named Beth with a scar on her face who's into God in a church graveyard.
Though, dude.
She's a badass and she's a babe.
She felt super bad though. Yeah, she felt super bad though because I guess like the pilot did the autopilot landing before he like died.
Right.
And
so she just
messed things up. Yeah.
Right.
She
so she's got her own guilt, and they kind of
who cares? Bond. She tried to do something. All right.
Tried. Yeah.
They bond over their guilt.
And that cover coming up, bro.
Yeah. So I was gonna. So anyway, issue ends with some Amazons staking out the church.
Yeah, some people.
And we talked about J.G. Jones in the early covers, but man, these
covers are so beautiful.
Do not disappoint, especially in this trade. They are killer, and this is very not so subtly representatory of
Eve tempting Adam.
Yeah, and the whole thing of the
That's
good and
sick.
evil, and
I love it.
They even talk about that later in this issue. So anyway, I'm going to cover up this butt, try to show this page. So yeah, they totally did it, and
cover up this butt.
Well, I don't know what the YouTube rules are, man. I don't pay attention to rules.
Little pancakes, cover them cakes.
That booty meat.
I don't know. It's an illustration. Maybe you get away with it.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain you can, but it's okay.
So
we got to behave a little bit.
There's kids watching.
Yeah,
we do some real magic, yo.
Yeah. So
flash paper.
What was I gonna say? Yorick has another crisis of conscience when he realizes that he cheated on Beth with Beth.
Yeah.
She's like, so?
She's like, so? She's probably dead,
She's
dude.
in Australia, dude. She's hanging out.
And
beaches, Grand Barrier Reefs.
She kind of convinces Yorick that she's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then they that for some reason sparks another bang fest. So they go back to back. It's like, your girlfriend's dead. He's like, oh, really? All right, well, let's go again.
Now I'm sad. Make me happy again.
Yeah, then Yorick turns a flower into fire, and she's like super impressed. And this is my absolute favorite joke from the entire series, where she's asking him to show another trick, and she says, "Show me something amazing, and I'll eat your flesh." And she's gonna, and then someone shoots through the window, and perfectly timed
Abracadabra.
on the next page, there's this panel of him saying abracadabra. Like
I did
he
love
did
that,
it.
dude.
yeah, like first of all, it's so funny for so many reasons. Like the timing of it on the page turn. Like if it was on the same page, it wouldn't be as funny because you don't get that like beat.
And you would have already saw it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but also the fact that like Yorick is so just. This is so regular to him to be like have windows shot out and stuff like that. That he's
look at that face he's making.
That he can make this like this joke with this face and be like, huh?
Abracadabra?
Abracadabra?
Do you buy that?
Cracks me
That's
up.
exactly it. Are you buying this right now?
She doesn't miss a beat though, and she's just like, oh, it's the Amazons. So she doesn't find it as funny as I do, but man, cracked me up.
Yep, she had to put her pants.
She's like my new favorite. Every time we go through the book, I'm like, oh, that's my new favorite chick.
Yeah, same, dude, same. They get better and better each time. Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm like, no, she's the favorite now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wait till you get to the pirate later on.
They killed my mechanic chick, so.
Oh yeah, dude, that's a bummer. I like the
which is exactly why your boy would not be able to keep it in his pants. Because I'm like,
because you're like every girl you meet, you're like, yo.
Now wait though.
I'm like, your wife.
Since he slept with her, does that mean she's gonna live? Because he didn't sleep with the other two that I like, and they both died. So maybe he's got the Magic Johnson that keeps him alive.
Well, I mean, the virus doesn't affect women, I guess, but it's like that's a good point though. She could pass it on to. I don't know. There's no one to pass it on to yet, so
it would be very surprising.
No, like you know how in a horror. Go.
It'd be really surprising if a 7-foot-tall basketball player was with them this entire time and he never saw him.
But in like a horror movie, the first people to have sex or get naked or something, they're the first to die. Mm-hmm. Well, in this, all the girls that he doesn't sleep with die. Maybe the ones that he does sleep with, they survive till the end.
I see what you mean.
We'll find out in a couple pages.
Wouldn't that suck if Magic Johnson was the last man on Earth?
He's clean, man. He's clean.
I don't know about that.
Is he?
That's what they say.
He's doing all right. I don't think he's not like cured, is he?
He's the one person that has like clear, like nothing. Like
that's money for you right there, buddy.
Conspiracies, man, conspiracies.
Here's a conspiracy for you. Is he or is he paid enough? Is he paid enough people
to say that?
So he's like, no, ladies.
Yeah,
right.
I'm good. Don't worry.
Isn't that ironic? If he was cured, the one guy who got cured of it, his name is Magic
Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Magic Johnson.
Mind blown. Just to be clear, I'm not disparaging Magic Johnson and saying that he actually did that.
Please don't kill us, Magic Johnson.
Or that
or sue us.
Like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had a true and real struggle with a terrible disease, and I wish you the best.
Chris Barrett, he's just as clean as Charlie Sheen.
So they get attacked.
So the Amazons bust in, and they kind of brawl.
I like that girl's watches on the hand when she punches all the watches.
I know.
That's pretty badass.
It's like
a roll of quarters in your fist would have done better, though.
Yeah, it's like
more weight.
Like brass knuckles, but just which are very legal. Kids.
Ooh, eye gouge, scratch to the face, thwap, thwap.
So they go back and forth about like the patriarchy of the church and how nuns are just as bad and yada yada yada. And then Yorick pulls off the I am Yahweh.
He's floating in the air.
I died when I saw this.
So this thing, so they kind of get scared, not scared off and totally, but enough that to distract them that Beth's able to kind of beat them up and steal the weapons and get them to run away.
And that's a great joke on the next page when
dude,
you will know I am the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you.
That wasn't from the scriptures. That's from Paul.
Yeah.
Classic movie.
And he also makes a comment about how someone's stepfather touched them inappropriately, and he's like, "Oh, I kind of just guessed about that."
Yeah.
I was gonna go with uncle, but it's like, we're really taking a chance there.
I thought it was cool that the girl, she was like, told one of the bad girls, she was like, yeah, you're too smart to be running with those airheads. When you figure that out, you're welcome to come back here. So that was really nice to have an open invitation. You know, and the girl kind of looked of course, mad and ran away, but might put something in the back of our minds that might come into play later. I don't know. But
and it may also be a little bit of foreshadowing as to what might happen with other Amazons later.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, you know, he's like, oh, this place has kick-ass surround system, and she's like, oh, you were floating, and this thing he talks about, the reverse Balducci, that's what David Blaine uses. And if you've ever seen him do that street magic where he floats, and it is the cheapest of cheap tricks. Look it up if you want to have magic spoiled for you.
Is that the thing where you have like the metal pole into the ground where it stands?
No, it's way simpler than that.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen people have like the anchor and the belt, and it's like into the ground, and the weight's like kind of heavy. Like looks like a staff. You can hold on like a staff and sit Indian style, like in the air.
Yeah,
but it's pretty much just like a seat. You know.
I've seen people do that too, but this is, as you can see from this perfectly accurate illustration of what it would look like, his hands look free. So. I can tell you how it's done if you want. It's super done.
Jesus was not impressed though.
Yeah, this is so, you know, we talked about how our favorite, you know, someone said their favorite thing about this is kind of the emotion and the illustration. Mine are like these moments where, so they just went through this thing and they kiss again, and then it just has this panel of Jesus up on the cross, just like, oh, we lost Comic Kid.
He gone.
He's like, oh, you're talking about Jesus? I'm out.
Yeah.
Gone too soon.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just like this really interesting moment. These like silent beats.
Yeah, it's always kind of like a location kind of thing. Also, a lot of panels in these, like in this whole entire arc. I mean, I guess this whole entire series, really in general, it'll start off with like a setting, like it'll show the top of a church or like the top of like a little hill or top of a house to show like kind of where they're at.
Chris Ferris says Jesus # gone too soon. Really? Because I'm pretty sure he's very much still around.
Oh, we got DS Comics in here with us now too. That's awesome.
It is. Yeah. I like that she was like, I lied.
Yeah.
She pulled a baked snake.
She pulled a baked snake, and she talks about the fact that like she is, you know, tempting him with the apple, and she, you know, all that stuff, and so she's kind of like confusing him as to whether or not Beth is alive. And then we cut to Australia and see this corpse, but very kind of a misstep here for me, illustration and storytelling wise, is that unlike the great joke, this is on the same page, so you see that the corpse is not Beth.
For me, yeah, right. I thought it was hilarious though when it's like, yeah, you got to believe, and the next page is like a corpse. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
And then I looked lower down. I was like, oh okay. It was good though, but yeah.
And so then they find these Aboriginal drawings on the stone, and then
kidnapped
by
a bunch of man-looking women.
And we haven't really we haven't gotten a lot of Beth. And that's
the first time
we've only had like 2 pages of Beth.
So Jesus died at 33. Just like Jim Morrison and Jimi Hendrix, right? And Janis Joplin. So yeah. And
so what you're saying is I've got 3 years left?
Oh man. Maybe I died 6 years ago.
I'm -2, bro.
Maybe
I'm already -2.
Under Whaler. Risen.
And instead of continuing with Beth and getting a little more insight into her, we go back to Hero instead.
Yeah, dude. When I saw that, I was like actually kind of bummed because I hate Hero. You know, so far.
I know, dude.
Hero.
So let me ask you this.
It was really good. It was super informative.
Let me ask you this: do you hate Hero, or do you find her boring, or do you hate her because she's a bad guy?
I hate her because I feel like she's annoying.
Yeah, exactly. Frustrating and like annoying, but like that's kind of like that's a well-written character. It's supposed to do the job of doing that, you know. But yeah, it was just she always constantly frustrated me, and her kind of like jumping to logic and conclusions and certain things just really wouldn't make sense to a certain person kind of thinking. But I guess you put in brainwashing and trauma on top of things, and makes people say and act different ways. But yeah, this is a really important chapter, and it gives a lot of backstory and fills in a lot of pieces from past issues. I thought that was really, really good.
Chris Barrett said
feel like there's
Jim
nothing.
Jamis and Jimmy all died at 27, along with Amy Winehouse and Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, most of them are 27. Yeah, the 27 club.
I feel like there's nothing that they can write in this story that will redeem Hero for me.
Did you read here? Did you stop here? You didn't read here?
Yeah, that's where I stopped at.
Oh,
okay.
Dude. All right.
So, well, you're about to get spoiled. Hi, old wolf. What's up?
I like spoilers.
So, Hero is a kid and takes Yorick to the statue when she kind of like gives the statue a voice. And
statue looks dope though.
You get like another reference to the fact that her grandfather abused her. And then we cut to college where she had acne, or I guess she's 15, but at a college party, and she has sex with a college kid. And
she's underage, right?
She's underage.
Like, yeah.
And then we're at Thanksgiving, and she is telling her parents that she wants to become an EMT, and her dad's all pissed off that she went to Sarah Lawrence so she can move to Boston and drive a van. And she's arguing about how she wants to help people and talking about how this guy she met is so much better than all the other guys she met. And then we cut to back to the scene where he dies, where we kind of judge Hero for being a loose woman, but she seems genuinely distraught at the fact that possibly the one man she really actually loved is dead, and she's told by the other EMT that we need to go help people, and she said no, they can help themselves. Mm-hmm. So I think that's kind of what kicks off Hero as being like down this path of
it still doesn't redeem her in my
and well, she's already moved away from like home, right? She's like in a different city.
Yeah,
so I was like,
Boston.
So I was like, why didn't she just go home? Because it cuts to her and like trying to like scrounge around and stuff. She's in a supermarket eating food, Yeah,
so, but it's the end of the world. How you get home?
There's no way. Yeah, exactly. We saw how it's hard to journey. All the roads are closed.
So she's eating cat food in a Save More in Baltimore. So she's made it that far at least. And the Amazons come and try to take the food from her, and she's like, I haven't eaten in a week. And she fights them off, and that's when she meets the
crazy redhead
queen bitch. So it gives her fruit.
Yeah, she's dead.
Gives her fruit.
She's dead, by the way.
She's axe to the head.
Axe to the head,
awesome.
yo.
That's one of my favorite
Epic
parts.
death scene. Killed by a chick that's also gone too soon.
Mm-hmm. And then we cut to her in prison at the colony where she got axe in the head, and the other women kind of knock her out and talk about how they want to rehabilitate her. And then we get back to the scene where we kind of last saw Hero, really. I mean, we saw her at the end of that last issue, but where we really left Hero off, where she goes
with her
mom, and she is seemingly back on the side of good.
But she's not. She's not.
That these three women,
rotten to the core,
have rehabilitated her, and she wants to go find Yorick.
The thing is, like, she's talking to the mom, and she's for some reason she's under the impression that 357 kidnapped her, but like the mom hired 357, so it's like, why didn't they communicate that he wasn't kidnapped?
So I mean, the mother seems to think that for some reason, maybe because they lost contact. I don't know, because of the Israeli thing.
Okay.
So then we're back to Kansas, where we last left her off, and she explains everything. They kind of catch up on what's going on between the baby and Yorick and what Hero's doing. But then, and we really start to get the sense that Hero is on the side of right, and
she is not.
Well, she is, except for the fact that she's hearing voices in her head. which is the ghost of bad mama.
Yeah, it's like all the impressionable stuff is still stuck in the back of her mind, and like she can't get the voice out of her head.
Right. And then we got this awesome ampersand cover.
Yes, dude.
I mean, yeah, brainwashing in cults is a real thing. So,
Do you feel like you could be brainwashed though?
Oh, you absolutely can.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Like my family's in a cult. Like,
Damn,
dude,
that
like,
sucks.
yeah, it does suck. It's like,
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
man.
can we pause and talk about this, or is this a sensitive?
Yeah, we can definitely
I mean,
talk about it. I feel like I don't
it's
think
like
I
a-
could be brainwashed, but a lot of
Oh,
people
yeah.
do say they can.
Yeah.
So
I think most of the time it's like you're born and raised into it. Like when it's like, and then once you're born and raised to it, it's hard to like get out of that. You know what I mean?
So
Like
I know a fair amount about cults because I'm fascinated by stuff like that, serial killers, cults, all that.
Mhm.
And most cults, it seems to me, from what I can tell, they start off promising one thing, and they seem very Garden of Edenish, right? They seem very idealistic, very environmental, very conscious of like this community, this group helping each other and living the right way and all this stuff. And either the leader of the cult has had a plan all along and executes it, or the power starts going to their head and they start pushing it further and further, where it becomes dangerous to the members or the outside, or both.
I think it's more like a control system where you kind of keep everyone in the same small circle, and you don't want to let them get out of that circle.
Yeah.
You want to try to keep everything as close and contained as possible. You know,
Definitely. But did you watch that documentary on Netflix about the that cult and
yeah, the first episode I saw, I forgot what the hell they were called, but yeah, Nexus or something like that, or I forgot what the name was.
Yeah. So like, if you broke down their like mission statement, it sounds very promising. It's like these people who just want to like treat the earth right and, you know, farm sustainably and live this life that is communal and loving and whatever. But then all of a sudden they start like encroaching on the town, and they start taking over the governments, and they start poisoning the water, and like, you know.
I saw a different one. The one I saw was on Hulu, I believe, but it was just a bunch of different cults. And the first episode, I forgot what the cult was, but yeah, it was more like business professionals, and then they kind of like threw in like a good kind of family environment, and then they threw in the control environment after that.
Yeah.
And then it was that one actress that kind of held like a little sex ring or whatever, or sex trade.
Yeah, from Smallville.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, she just got found guilty.
Really?
Yeah.
Good.
Going to jail, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, the point is that like brainwashing isn't something that you necessarily like. Allison Mack, yes, thank you, Chris Barrett. Brainwashing isn't something that I feel like you would recognize as being brainwashed.
Right.
That's what I want to know. That's what I'm curious.
I think it's very slow,
very subtle. Yeah,
very subtle. It's not like it's not a Clockwork Orange.
Right. It's like a little drift this way, and you keep drifting, and you keep drifting, and you keep drifting. And the way the Alex Mack cult was, like a lot of these other cults too, they'll have like dirt on you. You know, they'll want you to confess and tell them everything, and then give them all your money, and then you don't have anything left. You know,
right?
You have nowhere else to go.
Kind of right. You're in a sense trapped, and then it's kind of like
feel like you're trapped, and
it's the abuse victim angle where it's like, I hit you, but I love you.
Right. The Stockholm syndrome kind of thing, a little bit.
Exactly. So don't sleep on getting brainwashed. That's all I'm saying.
Beware or be aware.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Back to the book. Yorick is in his back when everyone was still alive. He is in a magic shop, which he clearly is a repeat customer, and is buying the engagement ring for Beth, not the church Beth, but Australia Beth. And then we cut to this really weird scene of him as a mascot.
I forgot about that.
I was wondering, dude. Are you sure he's not playing basketball?
Yeah, no, he
Those
is
are all women.
He is the mascot. He's heckling the crowd, and it is a birthday gift from 355.
Should have bribe a bunch of people for.
Apparently, it's like a dream that he's always wanted to do.
Oh my
Hey,
goodness.
welcome back, Kenny. Everything all right?
Yeah. Oh,
You made it.
Did he though?
Did he? Though? Did he though?
Blink twice if you're not being
No,
held
He's
hostage.
totally.
Is Magic Johnson in the same room as you? Blink twice.
yo.
He's slowly coming back to the surface. I think. I hope.
All right. Well, yeah, he's a mascot, and that was
That is
so
freaking
funny.
hilarious.
And it's really just like a total non sequitur. It's just like Brian K. Vaughan had this funny idea, I guess, and just was like, I'm gonna put this in.
He needed to make everybody laugh after spending all that time talking about Hero.
Yeah, that's true.
Crappy
And then
self.
and it brings it back to modern day, I guess, too. Yeah.
And then it brings you to Hero again. He had to prep you up for the misery you're about to endure.
So Hero is at this massage parlor.
Uh-oh. That's what's up. They still got those in post-apocalyptic
Looking for
female land?
355. And
They had that next to the Triad place, remember?
she has this
I
great
wasn't
line.
there, dude. I wish.
Yeah, dude.
She said,
I gotta end up in Baltimore somehow.
Yeah,
she
man.
says, now talk or I start adding orifices to your girls, which I thought was pretty badass line. We also find
And could be useful.
gross. We find out that she has some sort of tracker that is tracking ampersand.
Oh no.
We find out that there is a sweet ass ninja assassin named Toyota who is also tracking them.
That
She's
was
back.
back in the theater.
Yep,
issue.
that's right. That's right.
And we find out that
Oh, heard you for a second.
you're almost there. You can't see you though.
Exit your chat off. Just do the hangouts. Get rid of YouTube and just do your hangout. You just can't see the chat. That seems to work. Or set your YouTube to like 140 pp or whatever it is.
Oh, he's
And you
done.
know,
We've gone too soon. We find out San Francisco is a bit of a kind of
cutthroat place.
no. It's like pretty nice. Like all the power's still on. The public transit's still running. There's not a lot of crime. It's kind of like Utopia.
There's the whorehouse.
There's the whorehouse, and then we get the return of the women who killed 7-Eleven.
Yeah, I like these beekeeper ladies. They intrigue me.
They're wearing burqas.
Yes.
Because,
Oh, I thought that was a beekeeper suit.
they're wearing burqas, which is explained later. But they want the amulet of Helene.
What if they're all dudes under there?
Spoiler, they're not.
Yeah, that would have been cool though.
355 immediately recognizes one of them by their
Oh,
voice
dude.
as a former Culper Ring agent. They steal Yorick's ring from around
They
his
hit
neck.
him with like a daredevil baton, it looks like.
Yeah, they have the same. Oh yeah, I think they have the same batons as 357, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if the dude that made the daredevils made theirs.
And then they manage to escape by jumping on a trolley car
Oh,
at the
sorry.
last second as they kind of knock people out of the way.
I like
Those
how you
trolleys
see
are
it.
so awesome, dude. In
I like
San
how,
Francisco.
357's like, you see it? He's like, yeah, Rice-A-Roni in two. They're like, what? And they turn around and get hit by that, or they dodge the trolley last second. That's awesome.
It's
Yorick
like
is-
$3 and you can get anywhere in the city. And you just like ride one and it goes to an end point where like there's a big circle in the street and the whole trolley, like the whole street turns around and points it back the other way.
yeah.
And it goes that way and you hop on the next one that goes to the next place. And they just line that circle in the street up with whatever track the trolley's coming in on. And they point it down another one. It's so freaking cool, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yorick is very upset about losing the ring and says, we have to get it.
Yeah, let's go back and then go to Australia.
So they get back to Dr. Man's lab where
She
Yorick,
keeps getting hotter, dude.
yeah, like I'm saying, that Pia Guerra keeps getting better at drawing.
He's super distraught.
super
And-
distraught, and
yeah.
then says, "My ring." And 355 says, "Jesus York, forget about the goddamn." And he said, "No, my ring, it really was." And he starts throwing up blood and seems to be infected.
Dang, it was the ring that matches the amulet. Oh, he gone.
And we get a very upset ampersand and hashtag gone too soon.
Dude, the only man is dead, but he left his seed in Beth. Keep in mind.
Did he? Oh, other Beth.
Other Beth, yeah. His
Church
seed
Beth.
is in
Church
Beth.
Beth.
Church Beth.
I love this cover, dude. The sci-fi
yeah.
cover.
Another awesome cover with ampersand with the little space helmet. Unbelievable.
Oh, man.
And it's just like a series of kind of hallucination. Well, it's a hallucination of
Space
him
cadet.
and Beth in space, and he says they're stuck in an orbit around the sun, and she says it's not the sun, Professor Brown, it's Earth. Earth is on fire. And then we cut back to real life where they're panicking, thinking that he's got the thing, and they don't know what to do. And Dr. Mann insists that 355 goes back to find the ring because she doesn't have another explanation at this point, and it's as good of an explanation as any. And she has the great line, "Magic is just science we don't understand yet." And so she tells 355 that she needs to go trade this amulet for the ring. We get Hiro talking to herself again, and Toyota making reference to it, saying, "I thought I was the only one with a cell phone." She throws a dart in this woman's mouth.
I was just about to say that.
Just crazy.
Super cool.
That is insanity.
And then 355 busts in on the
Ex-Cobra ring people.
and
Beekeepers.
kicks some ass. Burqa wearing.
The beekeepers.
And so they basically say that they are wearing these because of the suffering that people are going through in Saudi Arabia and stuff like that. And it's a, I don't know.
Yeah, they're saying it's terrible over there, and that's why they're wearing it in like an honor.
They're always
that.
trying to make a statement.
But they wanted but they wanted the amulet for
because they think the amulet's the cause of everything.
It is, isn't it? At the very beginning, whenever they flew out of that country's borders, is when it all happened.
Right. So that's what they're saying. They said as soon as you left the country with the amulet, that's when all the men died. So clearly, that's proof that this is. But was it correlation doesn't mean causation? Right? Is that the phrase?
You never know.
Probably blowing that because I'm an idiot.
Sounds pretty smart to me.
Basically, it means that just because something happened together doesn't mean that it's the cause of the thing.
Jack, yo, what's up? Thanks for joining us tonight. Also, Perry Comics came in here.
Hey, what's up, Perry?
So they go back and forth for a while, and we find out Dr. Mann's real last name, which is Matsumori, which I don't think matters at this point, but we find that out, so I'm going to bring it up. Then they meet at Candlestick Park, and for some reason, this other agent decided to take off her burqa and just look like a badass warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Reference to the
Warriors.
Baseball Fury.
Come out and play.
So 355 hands over the amulet, and she baseball bats it into oblivion. And she's like, "Why'd you do that?" And she's like, "Oh well."
Women have had like most successful now, like they're better than ever. Before they had so many restrictions, and now like
until the whole world dies off because you can't reproduce.
Now the country is like flourishing though. Now the women are doing so much better than they were before. So.
And so 355 basically argues for a bit and then starts to walk off, and Hiro shows up and pistol whips her.
355 cover.
Yeah, pistol whips her and says, "We meet at last." And then we get this badass cover of her holding her baton and hiding from.
Dude, heck yeah, reek.
Yeah. So we get some sweet ampersand panels here.
Reek.
And because Dr. Mann thinks she heard a noise, which she did, it was Toyota
Ninja,
outside.
I like how she's like the lab rats have organized another prison break.
And then we have kind of the standoff between the old culprit ring agents, Hiro and 355. We have Yorick with a dream with 7-Eleven. We get to see her boobies again.
Mhm.
Nicely drawn too. Perfect
Yeah.
little nipples and
Look at that.
everything.
I'll do this again. But by the trade, you can see some boobs. And he's
He
like,
is tied down. What is it with him and his bondage dreams, dude?
he's like, I'm not suicidal this time. I'm sick, and blah blah blah. He kind of like talks about regrets of not writing down his stuff and yada yada yada. Who cares?
Yeah.
We have a fight. Oh, not yet. We have more of a standoff. She finds out, 355 finds out that the bad guys killed 7-Eleven. And then Dr. Mann realizes that Yorick does not have the disease. He's got botulism because he ate from a dented can, like a absolute R, son of an R. So that's a double use of the Brian K. Vaughn's favorite word.
Yeah, it's tomato soup, and that's why it was all red and looks like blood,
Right,
but it was
looks like
just tomato soup. So,
so she gives him a shot, and he's all better. Yay! Then we get the fight, and
Yes.
355 basically just like kills everyone and does the most badass thing.
Heck yes.
She breaks this lady's neck, but intentionally in a way that doesn't kill her, so that she's just paralyzed, so that when the other whatever other ring, what's the other ring called?
yeah, I forgot. It's something else ring.
Yeah, so whatever other ring that they're part of, when they
The beekeepers.
she can tell them that if they come after 355, that everyone's gonna end up the same way. And then Hero's got the upper hand. Victoria is talking to her, telling her to kill 355, and 355 says, if this is what you want, do it. And she doesn't do it. And then, huge moment in the series, Dr. Mann realizes how Yorick survived.
And the awesomest ampersand cover, dude.
Looking through a beaker.
Yeah, how freaking creative.
So she finds out that it is something in ampersand's digestive system, and that Yorick's exposure to the feces that he has been throwing this entire time has been mentioned over and over again, is what saved his life. Which Yorick,
and that's the reason I don't like monkeys.
And then we
so I would be one of the dead people.
Maybe the best ampersand cover. I mean, panel of all time.
Oh yeah, that is epic.
Where
it's like, you mean the reason I'm the last man on Earth is monkey shit? He's like,
and he's like, no, I've been found out. And Yorick gets real pissed off at this. And then to add to his stress,
he said that's a fucking ripoff. Like he got gypped out of dying, dude.
And I think that's kind of funny also as like a reader, because you kind of feel like, really, that's it? And like he is speaking for you in a way where he's like, oh, that's a ripoff. And you're like, oh, well, I'm glad you are aware of that, Brian K. Vaughan. But like clearly it wasn't like something that he didn't plan from the beginning, because it is built to this point where like he has referenced enough things that make you know that this is what he planned. 355 shows up with Hero, and Yorick punches her in the face, even though she's bleeding from the neck.
I'd have shot her.
And then he storms off.
Goes up to the roof.
Goes up to the roof where he and 355 talk about the fact that Hero has changed. And
shows the Polaroids.
Shows the Polaroids of the astronaut's son. And Yorick's like, hey, I'm not the last man anymore. And they kind of go back and forth about whether or not Hero is redeemed or not.
Hero didn't kill these people after she took their pictures.
Yeah, right. And then we have Hero's dream, because she's doped up on all sorts of painkillers and stuff and tranquilizers, where she stabs Victoria in the eye with an arrow, melting her, much like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Arrow.
And she says, see you soon, which is pretty grim and foreboding. Toyota shows up, steals ampersand, and then they go after her. And there's another great little ampersand panel.
Oh, 355 found his Doomflucky.
And technically another ampersand cover because he's in the reflection of the sword.
I love that cover too.
Awesome
wow.
cover.
All these covers have been fire, man.
Yeah, they're amazing. They're so good.
So 355 is going to go after Toyota, but too late. Yorick is now that he is no longer the last man, back to his.
And he's strapped.
Yeah, and he's strapped. They said they bring a knife to a gunfight, and he's got the gun. Go ahead.
They hear ampersand screaming in the distance.
They go running after him. 355 does not hesitate to cap Toyota right in the chest. Foolishly, because she's wearing a bulletproof vest.
Ninja stars, dude.
Yeah, Ninja stars. They fight. Toyota talks about how she's gonna regret killing her because she hasn't had anyone to spar with who's worthy yet. But clearly she bests 355, so she is like super, super duper true ninja badass. And then pulls off this awesome trick where she's got like smoke bombs in the hilt of her sword. That's some ninja stuff right there.
Yeah, Hero saved them. Shut
Hero saves the day. And,
yeah, but she still doesn't redeem herself in my book.
355 says nice shooting, and she said I was aiming for her face, which I thought was funny. And they have to kind of decide, who do we save? Do we save 355 or do we go after Ampersand? And clearly they picked the human.
What?
What?
Why?
Yorick and Hero have a tearful, apologetic reunion. He gets his ring back, and she takes a picture of him to bring back to show their mother so that she knows he's still alive. And then we get to the pirate section of the book.
Nice.
Where they track Ampersand to this dock, and the tracker stops because they are headed for the town in Japan where Dr. Man's mom lives.
Dude, I need this cover in my life.
I wonder why. Is it the booty?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Pirate booty.
And the pirate flag, dude. Pirate booty. You gotta love it, dude.
Yorick's smarmy face.
Just kicking it, dude. Look at him back there. White shirt.
The ship is called the Whale.
The Whale, dude.
Which they have stowed Yorick away in a crate. This, I don't really care. Like, the illustrations in these issues are clearly by someone else who are, but they're like trying to emulate. I don't know if they're trying to emulate, but they have a very similar style. Yeah. But it's just not as good.
It's a little off.
It looks a little clumsy. There's this. To cover this up again, because there's another boob. But this babish pirate captain who's running the ship, who is immediately all about Yorick. And
that's only a side boob, dude. You'd have been all right.
No, there's a nip.
Side nip.
She has like one of the strangest reactions, and I feel like this is like written not very well, where she's
got them DSLs, dude. For real.
Where she's just like,
and I ain't talking about the internet.
Where she's just like, how is there still a man alive? She's not shocked or anything. I don't know. I didn't care for it.
I was thinking double-sided lance.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
Dr. Man is checking out the crew, and they all have scurvy. No surprise, because they're
unhealthy and shit.
Then we get this eavesdropper who's wearing an eye patch because she's on a pirate ship.
And yet again, Dr. Man is looking sexier and sexier by the issue.
And
look at that look. Look at that look she's giving in that little corner panel.
Yeah. Not messing around.
Come and get it, Tiger.
And then, look, it's Ampersand. No,
Yay!
It's not. It's not really. It's the pirate lady's monkey who is a lady.
Screw you, Mystique. What are you doing?
She is named. She also. This joke was really funny. York says, "But shouldn't she be wearing diapers?" The pirate lady says, "Why? Capuchins are some of the smartest animals on the planet. They take about 5 minutes to potty train." And York's like, "You don't say."
So funny.
Oh my goodness.
But if he had potty trained
He'd be dead.
Ampersand, he'd be dead. So
yeah, it's like the one untrainable monkey, and he saved him. So good.
Oh yeah, pirate chick's gonna get it. Dude.
pirate chick, like totally 100% wants the D.
She is gonna get
She
it.
was like, she has most things in common with them too. Like, you know, like they have a pet monkey. They like a lot of the same things. I think she had like a writer's degree also.
Yeah.
So they have like so much in common. And she had like some movie that he liked a lot, or his TV show. Like, so she's been like my favorite, I think. And I was hoping like she was gonna stick around for the long run.
And she's got very up to par features for a woman.
And then this happens.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we get some more. Someone else gets lucky.
Dr. Band 355 finally hook
A
up.
little bit of that
Yeah.
soft serve swirl, baby.
Excuse me.
Like the ice cream machine.
Yeah, I got it.
Because they're all twisted up together, you know?
Yeah.
Tangled up in bed.
So
That goes back to that pirate lady, the eavesdropper.
Yeah, who is
Killed somebody apparently.
broadcasting to what we find out is a submarine saying that, you know, giving them information.
Oh, are they Russians? I hope they're Russian.
They're Australians.
Dang it.
And then
Russian submarines are just cool.
We get this great cover once again.
Time travel.
And then we're back in school with Yorick, and he's being a brat. Where we find out he never learned.
Is that 355 sitting next to him?
No.
No, that is just a small black girl. We find out that he missed the class where they watched the sex ed video, which is not surprising.
His dad wouldn't let him learn about boners from a gym coach.
Yeah, boners. It's a funny word.
That's the whole.
That's solid information.
He gets seasick and goes to look for Dramamine from Dr. Mann and walks in on some action.
Mm-hmm.
Little hanky panky.
And he said, "This is officially the weirdest nightmare I've ever had."
Then they hear a scream in the background. And they go and investigate.
And 355 says, "Stay with the doctor. I'm on top of it." And Dr. Mann says, "Not anymore." So Bikini Lady and Eye Patch Lady are in a face-off because she caught her, and they fight, and then Pirate Lady stabs her.
Rope trick.
They lock her up.
Pirate Lady's awesome, y'all.
We find out that the submarine is going to have a straight SWAT team board the ship. And they're saying, "Oh, we're a humanitarian ship. We're bringing medicine and all this stuff." And that these Australians have been ransacking ships up and down this whole seaway.
Dude.
Dr. Mann goes, she hears a screaming, but it's a prisoner that's in pain. And she's like, "Why don't you tell me?" She needs to get like bandaged up or like fixed up. So Dr. Mann goes in to investigate.
But before that,
yeah, the guard.
Before that, Yorick is talking to the pirate lady and says, "Lame ass, when Harry met Sally was right. Men and women can't be friends. I don't understand you people. You're all impenetrable." And she says, "Not all of us." And he's like, "Oh, damn. Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
buddy, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Once you broke that ice, there's no going back."
Oh, yeah. Another notch in the York belt of women misdeeds.
So we find out from the Eye Patch Lady that the boat is actually hauling heroin, not medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And then it ends with
the kiss.
The
epic kiss.
with the sword on the belt and the sword in his pants, if you know what I mean.
They're crossing swords tonight.
And see the monkey in the back watching.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. He's got the bottle of booze.
She's like, "Oh, damn." Another awesome cover.
He's riding him, swinging the thing.
We hear the story about people taking over the national parks to grow opium. and just like plagues of hugely addicted populations because of this.
Yeah, theater's just full. That's crazy.
He's getting him some, dude.
Yeah, he's got his head straight buried in them
Motorboating some bitch.
tit old biddies.
You motorboating some bitch, you.
Interesting you should say that, Gray Matter Hulk. He says heroin was medicine, # gave us modern painkillers. And that's the argument that the captain uses, saying that we don't have access to medicine anymore, so this is the best we get. She's kind of trying to rationalize being a drug dealer.
Yeah, she ended up making some good points. Like, it ended up being kind of like a governmental control thing over, like, you know, a way like that would be like a natural medicine thing. And but I guess, you know, apparently, I mean, people change these drugs, opium, into, you know, other stronger things. But yeah, so it was a kind of a cool argument they had back and forth. And
yeah,
then,
it was definitely one of those, like, trying to get you to see both sides.
and they had their own preparations against an attack. But
as we all know, you know, heroin is terrible and addictive, and
I left the hashtag in the chat.
Yeah, I saw that. So then we get like straight sea warfare where they're dropping depth charges, submarines blowing up. They shoot missiles at the submarine. I mean, the submarine shoots missiles at the boat. They fight off the sea captain.
Dude, 355 got her some booty. Now she's all swagged out. Got a suit jacket on, hair all done nice. What? That's the best she's looked all issues.
And then, yeah, so then this issue ends with the boat getting hit with a
epic artwork.
Yeah, missile. And then another awesome ampersand cover. They know what's up. Although this isn't ampersand.
Monkey.
This is the other monkey.
I forgot her name, though. It wasn't as cool as ampersand, though.
Bonnie.
I think it's
we'll call
like
her comma.
It should have been. Yeah, it should have been. It should have been like
parenthesis,
colon or comma or something. Yeah,
semicolon.
It really should have. Should have been semicolon.
And then they have the great line, she's not dead yet, but there's blood in the water, and you can see all these shark fins. They continue to fight on board. Blah, blah, blah. They blow up the boat some more.
Yeah, they try to escape off the boat.
Yorick is able to pick the locks through the middle of the ship in order to get them to an escape boat, where he does the stupid Yorick thing of saying women and children first and drops them down, leaving himself on the boat to go back to talk to the captain for some reason, because I guess the puss is just that good.
Yeah, dude, pirate chick, bro. I ain't leaving her behind.
He didn't want her to go down, man. He liked her, you know. He wanted to rescue her.
He wanted to be the one to go down. Hey-oh!
Hey-oh!
Yeah, that's what she said.
There it is. She knocks him out, but intentionally leaves on the comm so that the submarine hears it and hears that there's a man on board, so that they don't sink it, and they save everybody, or as many people as they can. Yorick and 355 have like a very awkward kind of situation now because of what he saw. Her butt.
Yeah.
And
then the pirate lady with the one eye patch kind of hits on Dr. Man.
Not kind of, like straight up. It's like, oh, it's hard to tell who's gay and who's not, and especially when they're pretty. And Dr. Man's like, what?
Yep.
And then we're back to Tel Aviv, Israel, with what's her face here, and she somehow gets her guards to kill the judge.
Awesome. I thought that was super cool.
She's back after Yorick. She's back, baby.
She's back.
Beth, dude, what is going on,
dude.
Beth?
Beth,
what are you into?
And so this is the last issue of this trade is a solo Beth story where we finally kind of get some insight as to who Beth is.
What are you up to, Miss Beth? Did you get a little wild on peyote with the wrong Aborigine?
It's kind of, she goes on a trip for sure and sees a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
So she sees Yorick and her kind of, I guess not technically their first meeting because she was dating his roommate, but the first meeting that she remembers because she had clearly no impression of him before that based on this conversation, where his roommate has just broken up with her and he impresses her with or doesn't impress her with his knowledge of French pronouns, I guess, or something.
Oh, Beth looks good like Zatanna.
Yeah, so skipping ahead a little bit, we see Beth see an albatross that says "Kiss him goodbye, Beth," which cuts to a funeral where they're saying "Kiss your father goodbye," which cuts to Yorick and Beth getting ready for a Halloween party where she's dressed up like Zatanna. Matt would love that, except Yorick says, "Close, but your hair should be black." And then he goes down on her. Nice.
Yeah.
And he says, promise you'll never leave no matter what. And then he says, we'll see. And he's bleeding from every facial orifice. Then we cut back to
Hero
and Beth outside of a house after a funeral where they're smoking. And
I like the cigarettes are called Black Death.
yeah. Hero references Albatross again. She says, he's a good guy, but don't let him become an albatross, you know? And Beth says, no, what's that supposed to mean? And then Hero says, you're a smart chick, you'll work it out. And then we're back to the peyote trip. Where the kind of elder magic user of this group says, like, I think she came here for a reason. I have to finish my dance with her. And everyone else is like, just leave her alone. It cuts to a water gun fight that Yorick and Beth had on the roof at one point where he threatens to pee in his water pistol. And for some reason, she's got like a super soaker and he's got like what looks like a straight up pistol.
It does there.
It doesn't even have like a little orange tip. He's just like, I thought for a second that he was like actually shooting her. And she tells him she's going to Australia.
Mm-hmm.
It then cuts to a dream that Yorick says he had where
she was a superhero.
She was a superhero saving him from a giant
Pretty hot
monkey.
Superhero at that.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm living your dream. And she saves him. And he says, I'm alive. She says, you're welcome. And he says, no, Beth, listen to me. I'm alive. I'm alive. And she wakes up on the side of the road and clearly now realizes somehow through her dream that Yorick is actually...
It's her spirit walk, bro.
Yeah,
alive.
Dang right.
We did it. We blew through it.
That was awesome, dude. I feel like I read the whole thing.
Man. Whole entire army. Bros, I was trying to like download OBS on my new like MacBook Pro that my wife got me. And I was like trying to figure it out. It's I guess all these passwords and bullshit, and I couldn't get it to work, man. But I've tried it. It's a steep learning curve. Dude, I'm
OBS,
hoping to, like,
man. Yeah,
I'm hoping to hopefully eventually get to the point. Then like maybe we can like show some panels like on screen and stuff.
You can do cool stuff on OBS, but
Yeah.
man, it's being able to have multiple people on OBS is the problem. Like you got to do it through Skype and some other stuff. Google Hangouts won't do multiple people on OBS unless you have two monitors. If you've got two monitors, you can run the Google Hangouts on one monitor and then overlay that monitor in your OBS.
All right, I'll get that.
I've watched a lot of YouTube videos.
I'll get that stuff.
Too technical.
So
I've only got one monitor. So
we just did basically as much as we've done in 7 episodes in one episode.
That's because we're the shit, bitch. We need toilet paper and some potato.
So I want to keep up this pace, I think, so that we can get through Y, and then we are going to kind of reevaluate this show a little bit and kind of switch up formats, I think, because as much as I am enjoying hanging out with these guys and reading this book, we talked about it and feel like this isn't necessarily really working out the best, or like not really how we envisioned it. So we're going to try something new. We're kind of talking about it still, but I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Once we fine tune things. So
anything with the group of guys that we're hanging out with is going to be
no
awesome.
doubt. We want to like have more with the chat too. You know, we like love you guys being here. It's all about everyone together. You know.
Yeah, and it's just like so concentrated on like getting through like very specifically what's happening that I feel like there's not a lot of time to like glance over and see what people are talking about because we're just like trying to power through this recap, and it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe next time around we'll go for like a shorter series. It'd be easier to.
Gray Matter Hulk says new comic book day, but old comics, which is kind of like what this feels like, and I don't want to do 2 of the same show. So
right.
We could do God Country. That was thrown out there not too long ago.
I never read God Country. That'd be tight.
It's only 6 issues. It's super epic.
I don't know. I'm thinking of something maybe totally off the wall, but we'll keep working on it.
Okay.
And we'll let you know as soon as we figure it out. But stay tuned if you do want to see the conclusion of why. We're going to try, if we have time. As you can see, this is becoming more of a disaster area instead of less. As
I can see that.
As I pack, but so I might be absent for a couple weeks at some point while I move. But I'll keep you updated on that. Yeah, there's nothing left. I was robbed. Send funds. I'm kidding. I'm moving.
He's moving.
I'm moving. Goodbye.
Bye.
So anyway, thanks for joining us. You hung out tonight. Thanks to Comic Cat 84 for trying his best to stick with us, but clearly he had some internet issues. I hope that everything's okay. I mean, if you want to send money, Chris Barrett, that's cool. Moving is very expensive, but I did not lose my comics. They're just in a box. Don't send money. I'm fine. And Caleb's got a belt.
I'm strapped.
Right.
I'm the hunt champion right now.
For that Sunday night slap down, y'all.
Dollar Ben Bandito. We got the Underweller.
Yeah.
I was thinking my wrestling name would be like have like the Brood entrance. You know, get some fake flames. Maybe get like a strobe light, and then I'll maybe do like Gang Grail, like Grails, like slabs. You know, like Grail, like Grail comics. You know what I mean?
That's not bad.
On the show, the Grail. You know what I mean? So it's like Gang Grail. It would
fit. Pretty good.
But I was trying to think what else. I mean, there's CM Punk. You had a good one. You know. So some options. I need one. I need an alter ego, bro.
I thought about Scott Steiner at first if I was going to do a real one because Big Papa Pump, I could be Big Papa Smurf.
That's right.
If I had to do a real wrestler, but I went with my own made up one.
Yeah, the Underwhaler is fun, but like he's I think I said this the
voice, right?
Well, it's just like Undertaker's not known for his mic skills. He's not like Macho Man or some UI2J or like these other guys that are professional on the mic. He's just
I think it was Seawood that said on Comic Core, he says he can't wait to see you go through your biker phase.
That's what I said. I made the joke that I was going to just come out as the American badass wearing a bandana.
That'd be awesome.
It's raining there, Comic Head. It's clear skies here, man. You got crazy.
We missed you, Kenny.
Am I already not in Massachusetts? What's going on?
The Dollar Bin Bandit struck him some gold, and old Biggie Shack sent him a belt. Oh, 90 got his ass whooped last night on the hunt. Yes, sir. But he still got him a championship, too. There's belts floating around this community, and we're going to bring them all to one place. Tony Sanders has got something in the works whipping up for you people. It's going to be a big one. Sunday night slab down. You just stay tuned and stay ready.
Hell yeah. What else you got going on, Caleb? Is that it?
Yeah. I'm going to start doing more content, man. I'm slacking.
I need to do that too, man.
I want to do some press videos. I want to do some just sorting, like start some live chats during the middle of the day, maybe around lunchtime. So people, when they're eating lunch, they can just chat with me while I'm sitting here bagging and boarding, going through books, talking about books.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Alec? What you got going on, man?
We got book club this week is book that I can't remember the name of. It's coming out from Image. That I picked. Drew Manchu is going to be the guest, and we're also going to talk about.
Yeah, I heard.
We're also going to talk about Silver Surfer Black.
Oh, sweet.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a good one.
So it's going to be a twofer. Sonata, thank you very much, Hulk. Jeez, my brain is all over the place. Next week is going to be real good too, so stay tuned for that. And that's about all I got going on because I think I'm going to be concentrating on unpacking and stuff. But Not a real book. Yeah, Chris Barrett says that was what Drew Manchu said. Image books aren't real books. Well, guess what? We tricked you into reading one,
Image
sucker.
books are
Drew
too real
Manchu,
books.
baby.
Drew Manchu, baby.
Sit there and tell me that this is not a real book. Somebody tell me that's not a real
It is.
book.
You're holding it in your hand. That was
And
a joke.
criminal.
That was a joke I made. There are plenty of good. I mean, don't listen to Drew Manchu. There's plenty of good image books. I would argue that there's more good image books than there are good Marvel books.
I agree.
Amen, brother.
So maybe we'll have that debate on Wednesday. That should be fun.
I'm in it. I'm in it on that one.
That's about all we got. Come back next week for hopefully another 10 issues of Y.
Yeah.
Heck
yeah,
yeah,
let's do it.
and I'll read them this time.
Sub everyone up.
Yeah, man.
Walking Dead is apparently back.
Dead.
People care about it again.
Walking Dead
Yeah.
is dead.
That's what happens.
When spoiler alert.
Dude, I'm just waiting
Pull a
for
stunt like
the
that.
I'm just waiting for the Zombie Rick and Zombie Glenn spin-off series to start where they hunt down everybody that's left alive.
Rob
That'd be
Liefeld
cool.
says DC is gonna die.
I heard. That's so dumb. Yeah,
and
right.
DC said Rob Liefeld is gonna implode or something. I don't know. I don't
Does
know if that's a joke.
anybody even care what Rob Liefeld
No,
says anymore?
No one cares what that guy has to say.
Like
He's just mad that people don't care about Major X.
no doubt.
that's
And he
fine.
can't
You
lash
know
out
who
against Marvel,
cares?
so he mashes
You
out
know
against
you're
DC,
getting
you know?
paid to make comic books, dude. Shut your mouth. Enjoy your money. Nobody cares about your opinion. If a book sucks, it sucks. Write another one. Do a better job next time.
I mean, can he?
It's possible, bro. I'm saying maybe
I'm gonna
it
wrap
could
it up.
happen.
Mick World. Anyone remember that? Am I the only one old enough to remember
Mick World. That sounds familiar.
that? Anyway, have a great night, everyone. Thanks for joining us. No
Bye.
spec. Read books. That's a new
Susan
short.
Spec.
It's a new
No
short.
specs, no masters, bro.
No specs, no masters. That's a new short.
Hashtag
slogan.
gone too soon. Hashtag Underwhaler is champ.
Hashtag little bird for life.
Amen, brother.
Enjoy your nights. Never turn your back to the ocean.
Bye.
Bye.